It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video. Today's video is coming to you guys a little bit later. I'm going to give it a couple minutes for everyone that is going to be tuning in live to kind of join. If you guys aren't a part of Tech Solutions already, I do have a free Facebook group. The link is down below if you guys haven't joined already. We're a little bit over 34,000 members, and the thing that we do best is we provide a supportive environment for both new and experienced investors, entrepreneurs, and day traders. So that's pretty much our group. That's what we do best. So it looks like some people are actually tuning in. I posted the link or asked how many people are up right now, just because we have a lot of traders that are, in the eastern part of the United States, and I'm here Mountain Standard Time. So it is pretty late, so I do want to apologize that I usually have my videos uploaded by 5 at least or 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to, kind of accommodate those in Eastern Standard Time. But let's kind of get right into it. So I'm going to talk really briefly about this topic, and I'm going to say what's up to all of you guys. So, oh, that's not cool. Yeah, if you guys could tell, I'm super sleepy. I'm just super exhausted. I'll talk to you guys about that in just a bit. So for those that are looking to invest in real estate, just to give you guys a brief example of kind of how my approach is. So I'm right now pre-qualified for both a rental property and a residential property. So I have a series of houses right now that I own, and I rent them out to a series of students or just tenants, and that's pretty much what it is that I do. I'm going to talk about what has led to my success, especially at an early age. I don't want to, in a sense, say that I'm a professional or am an extreme guru at what it is that I do. It comes down to me having a very simple approach, kind of when it comes down to trading and everything else that I choose to invest in. So I have a set price. I try to analyze the market that I'm in. Understanding that I'm in Arizona, I'm mainly focused here in Gilbert, but I'm expanding and trying to into local areas like Mesa, Chandler, Queen Creek, and just surrounding areas, right? And it comes down to understanding that what's the average price for a home, what's usually labeled as a good buy, and then if I could actually if my approach is to flip the house or to rent it out to later appreciate and then rent it out as well. So I guess that's kind of being all over the place. I'm going to give you guys kind of 3 things that I like to focus on kind of going into a property. So, let me talk about the things that you guys kind of need to qualify for these properties. So you need to have a stable income. You need to have at least a 2-year work history, and the reason I say a stable income is because if you have at least a 2-year work history, you could report that, and you don't need an enormous amount, especially within the area that I live in, to qualify for a house at a very early age. Depends on where it is that you live, but even if you're making like 40 to even like $60,000, you can qualify for a decent house. And I think a lot of people are not exposed to the idea that at a very early age, a lot of people are making $40,000 to $60,000 with commission-based jobs, sales-based jobs. The average income for an American is now starting to increase due to wages and stuff like that. But overall, I think one of the biggest things that I can recommend someone to do, and this is probably the best advice, is to become knowledgeable in what they do qualify for. Even if you don't have a 2-year work history, getting in contact with a real estate agent and getting in contact with a lender, seeing if they're willing to work with you, and they're there to, they want to help you. And I hope you guys understand that, because although you might be extremely young, or although you might not feel like you are ready to actually buy a house if you're renting right now, I can promise you, reach out to a real estate agent and reaching out to a lending company, one that is willing to work with you, and you kind of tell them what your plan is. Maybe it's to buy a house in 1 year, to buy a house in 2 years, whatever your plan is, however old you are. Reach out to them, tell them your plan, and see how they can work with you, or at least guide you in the right direction. That's one of the first things that I did when I was 20 years old and I moved over here to Arizona. I was a student at ASU Polytechnic. I had a stable income, and simply, again, I wasn't a professional when it came to real estate. All I did was I asked for the professionals as a real estate agent and a lending company, what is it that I need to do to qualify for my first house? They told me my credit, my stable income, and it came down to having enough for like the down payment and stuff like that for the house and stuff. So it's going to be different for every single area that you're in, and I want you guys to understand that. But it comes down to the simple approach of taking the first step and making sure you reach out to a real estate agent, you reach out to a lending company, and trying to get that done. So now that we have that out of the way, what are the 3 things that now for an investment property that I try to focus on? When it comes down to trying to look for an investment property, the properties that I've purchased or partnered with have came down to I don't buy at market price. I don't buy at whatever everyone else is buying, because again, it comes down to trying to buy at a good buy. Just like, I guess it's not a like direct correlation like trading stocks, because there's a lot that's very different when it comes to trading stocks, when it comes to real estate. But it kind of comes down to the approach of, like, let's say buying a car, for like the Corvette Z06. My Corvette Z06, they were all selling for, just no, I guess that's not even a good example. I'm kind of going off the top of the head, as you guys can tell. Oh, it looks like we got some. So sorry about that, guys. But what I try to focus on, in all honesty, are good deals, and my real estate can just back that up, right? We always try to find the best deals. We try to find foreclosures or short sales. Those are usually the ways that you guys can find best deals, as well as I've been getting a little bit more into the market for auction and stuff like that. But realistically, for an average person, right, that wants to get into rental properties, short sales, foreclosures, and just good deals. So just sending you listings, and then you taking time out of your day to try to see, if based on the previous comps that have, or previous listings within that area, so they call them comps, that have sold within the past, 60 or 90 days, that you're at least below that specific, market price. So therefore you're getting a good deal. And you want to make sure that you're buying in an area that's growing, therefore, so you can later, you're not just buying the property so you can rent it out and then make, a passive income, but as well as you want to have the understanding that it has margin to continue to increase in price.
If you guys want to check it out.
Therefore, when it comes down to, actually buying the property, then you can later sell it for a profit as well. So not only are you making money like as passive income because of your rental property, but you're also making money in the long run because of the appreciation of your house. And that's really where the most money is made. I was thinking about making a video about my experience with tenants and how I've dealt with them. I've had at least a 1 full year experience having tenants with my established business and stuff like that with my properties, and I just wanted to ask you guys, is that a video that you guys would like to see? And if anything, I will promise you that it will be a better quality video than this one, since this is kind of just off the top of the head. So one of the biggest things is that I try to focus on, again, are foreclosures, short sales, and good deals, the listings that your real estate agent sends you. And then it comes down to having certain criteria when approaching those deals, making sure that you stick to your plan. Something that I've felt like within the past couple of weeks, I've been making numerous offers in different properties, or have been, an effort to try to make numerous offers in certain properties. But the demand is really high for homes, and houses right now in Arizona are selling, beyond or above the actual asking price. So it's very hard to actually find a good deal. And I'm trying to almost force a purchase, and that's not something that you want to do, because in the long run, you want to make sure that you get a good deal. And if you make a purchase based on impulse, then you're not really going to do that. So that's one of the biggest drawbacks that I've seen, and I've right now I have experienced some other drawbacks when it comes down to my tenants and stuff like that, and it's just been not the best experience. So I have a couple people asking me, can you guys live in my rental? I'm not too sure. I do post the link. It's just the default kind of setup that's posted every single time. It tells you the type of properties that I have. I pretty much post them. So when I have a room available, I try to house entrepreneurs or investors, or just motivated individuals that are students or young individuals within my houses, and I try to fund their startups or something like that. So that's the type of environment that I try to promote. The link is down below. Again, you can subscribe to the email, so when we send out emails of a potential room being available, then you guys can be a part potentially of one of these properties. It's called milkyassets.com. So feel free to click on that link, and then if you guys want, you guys are more than welcome to subscribe. You definitely don't have to, especially if you're not thinking about ever living in one of the properties, but just thought it'd be cool because since you guys are asking right now, that would be good. So I was kind of going all over the place when it comes down to this real estate. Guys, it's been like an extremely long day, and I don't want to bore you guys when it comes down to talking about that. So I'm going to start answering the questions that people start pulling up right here. And I think that's at least something that you guys would find useful. So I see Kyle, or I see A Joel says, "What's up, Ricky?" Or "Hey, Ricky, what's going on, bud?" Kyle says, "Typical down payment you put down." Well, it comes down to, is it like a residential investment property that I'm trying to purchase, or is it going to be like a sole investment property? So the one that I got pre-qualified, that I'm going to have to put 20% down for whatever it is that I tried to buy the house for, or the investment property for. And that's not a residential investment property. That's, an actual, like, either a fourplex or just a multifamily home or something like that. That's solely focused as an investment property, at least in my perspective. And it's 20% down that I like to put on those. The other ones you can put anywhere around from like 5 to 10%. I'm not too sure. I always put about like 5 to 10%. Are the group chats open? So if you're talking about, this is Michael Bartels. If you're asking about the group chats that we have available, the group chats aren't available right now. So I will be posting the group chat link within the Facebook group in just a little bit. Yo, give me them tech bud shirts. I know we're still working on that. Okay, there's the squeaky door every single time. What's up, Ricky? Oh, Kettle Cook, dude, you've been straight killing it in you've been killing it every single day. Like, you've been consistent within our trading group chat. So congrats again on your, I think it was like $4,000 that you made today. So that was really sweet. What are your thoughts on commercial properties in Arizona? So this is by Ezekiel. He's asking me, what are your thoughts on commercial properties in Arizona? I think it's great, right? Especially in any market. I think, especially where you see the most profit or potential for profit, that's really where you want to focus on. And Arizona is definitely, I think, a key market for that, because they're very low priced, and you can buy a lot of them, and then you can rent them out, right? And the demand is always here because there's always people moving over here. So that's really sweet. Invest in some WD-40 for that door. I honestly I think we do. Yeah. Kettle Cook says, "Thank you so much. You the boss, man." Not at all, man. You've been killing it. Dimitri, what's up? Thank you again for just messaging everyone. I really do appreciate your assistance. You selling on Amazon now? No, that's not for me, if you're asking about that. That's Sergio. Sergio is like doing all that. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah. Let's see. This is by Tactical Taco 8. Again, I love your username. What are your thoughts on flipping houses or house flipping? Guys, when it comes down to like investing in anything, especially if there's margin for potential, of course, it's something that I find attractive. So house flipping, of course. But it comes down to, is it a deal, or does it have a margin, and the opportunity cost? Is it worth my time to dedicate all my, assets and all my capital to buy this house, dedicate time and build it and create a team on, renovating it and rebuilding it, and, then posting it for sale and stuff like that. So it comes down to a specific individual, and you just have to ask yourself, do you feel like you're in that specific situation? And it might be that you're not right now, but don't limit yourself. Maybe like that's honestly like a really good question, because I feel like a lot of us, although it might require like a lot of work, especially as like us young entrepreneurs that are trying to start out, it might not be the first thing on our mind, right? It might be something that we might want to do when we have a little bit more money, but don't second guess yourself. It's always great to be knowledgeable in a specific market. And if you can get in contact with someone that flips houses and kind of just keep in contact with them maybe once every other week or something like that, then that could be a great idea to kind of just continue to stay connected in that market, because it is a very profitable market, and it's just like, how is it not? So. A Tech Buds reunion. I know you guys have been hinting on that specific type of event. I would be very open to that idea of like a Tech Buds like meetup, or in different cities and stuff like that, especially now that we're like at 34,000 members worldwide. And now we're like 37,000 subscribers. I'm not too sure how many we are. We just keep growing so rapidly, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. So it just comes down, I'm really busy with like for the next couple of weeks. And I think for like the next month, I'm just going to be extremely, extremely busy. And it's just because we have a lot of things going on right now. So. Oh, Edwards Cornelius is saying, have a good weekend, Rick. Tomorrow's my B-day. Well, happy birthday, brother. Don't base trades based on other people's opinion. That is right, Eduardo. All right, this is by David Trump. He's asking, how can you look for a good deal, Rick? Well, it comes down to like there's so this house that I bought, it was a foreclosed home. It was like put on Zillow, I think, and it was like on the MLS that it popped up, and it was an amazing deal. And you just have to kind of this is kind of like the perspective of what I try to look at. There's always people are saying like, don't buy a house right now. We're most likely going to see a correction. And the way that I look at it, and again, this doesn't have to be the way that you have to approach it, but if you're finding a good deal, is it because you think that there's going to be a correction that you shouldn't be able to take advantage of that a good deal? Or does it justify you not being able to take advantage of that specific deal? And what I mean by that is understand like where we are when we need to be expecting a correction, right? So just try to picture that and try to picture like the property's value right now and then where it can be based on where it was in 2008 or something like that, right? That's kind of like my idea. So I identify like this margin of profit that it still has to grow before we experience a correction. Again, this doesn't have to be the way that you do it, but because there's, when I bought this house, I was like, well, based on what it was valued in 2008 or in 2007, it still has a margin of profit to continue to rise to, hit that resistance, so-called resistance, right? So I was like, okay, it's a good deal. People are talking about a potential correction. Am I going to let this deal pass because other people are saying that there's going to be a correction? Or is the risk worth it? And that comes down to you as the investor. So it came down to like, okay, well, this is how much I was going to have to put down. This is how much my monthly expenses would be. I knew that I could always just rent out the house and break even, and that the market would always pick back up. 2 years later, my house, I'm almost like $100,000 more of what I actually bought it for. Therefore, I built this margin of profit because I took advantage of an opportunity that was presented to me and I saw the potential. It comes down to you as the, investor and entrepreneur to be knowledgeable in what it is that you're investing in. That's why I always encourage you guys to do your own DD. So check out the property, see the margin of profit that it still has to make up. And if you see that it still has potential and that even if there was a correction, worst case scenario, you'd still be able to make it through, right? That you wouldn't have to be, taking a loss every single month. Then it comes down to you as the investor to, see if this risk is worth it. So that's my approach, and I hope that helps you guys out. Kettle Cooked is saying, I love your overheating business. All right, appreciate that, brother. Thank you again. I hope you have a good night. I really do. Buy new constructions or normal ones? Based on like them being new constructions, you're probably not going to find the best deal when it comes to those. Alrighty. All right, so I see you guys are having your own conversation within the live chat, so that's really cool. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Just wanted to make a video kind of just talking about specific topics. I'm really sorry if this is not a video that you saw the most value, and I kind of just wanted to answer some of your questions and kind of just stay connected within the very end of of the week and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a video for tomorrow, and hopefully it could be the video that I filmed 2 days ago on my fun trip back to California. But have you taken Tanner's course? No, I don't take courses, or I haven't taken Tanner's course. No, I have not. But overall, I just want to remind you guys, like, today was an extremely, and I know like you guys are probably like, well, we don't care, Ricky, like, what you're going through. And I 100% understand, but this is like pretty much like the only channel that I have to like really speak to people and get some, feedback. And it's not always positive. I really just want to hear what you guys have to say. But it was a really busy day today. I had to work and a series of different things that I was doing. We're checking out a specific like investment aside, not a normal form of investing, and I'm trying to get all the investors like, you know, connected and just up up to track with everything that's going on. And that's with one investment that we're investing in. And then I'm meeting up with a specific member within the next couple of days, and then trying to formulate just everything else that we have planned for that one. Then I have another member that we're trying to formulate now, another business, and then another partnership. And guys, like, I'm not making that up. Like, I think we're forming like 3 or 4 businesses like this week alone, and that's definitely more than my average week. And it's just a lot of stress that, you know, I think I could have done a better job structuring kind of like everything that has been going on. Um, but I, although it's like very difficult because I'm tired, because I just kind of like want to go to bed, and I just want this to all be figured out. It comes down to like, these hard points are really like the breaking points of where, like, you overcome every obstacle, and then you just make this smooth transition for both like your investors and the investee, and then yourself and the business that you create and stuff like that. And parts of it does have to do with tech buds. A majority of it does not have to do anything with tech buds. And that's a whole other just daily duty on itself. So I just wanted to let you guys know, like, that's why I wasn't very active in today's chats and today's videos, because I've been going back and forth with all these different things. So I want to share everything it is that I can with you guys, but there's just some things that I have to keep kind of like away from the camera, if you guys can respect that when it comes down to some of my businesses and partnerships and stuff like that. But overall, I just want you guys to know that if I can do it, and I can dedicate this work and make it happen with everything else it is that I have going on, you guys can do it too. I've figured out that when it comes down to building a successful business and something that's profitable, it's not always just you as an individual that has to make it happen, but it's building a team that can express and kind of create that same just message that you're trying to express or provide. And that's one of the biggest things that I think I've learned within the past couple of months, is that building a team that can accommodate you and support you and help you through this whole struggle is definitely has been one of the most useful parts of this huge growth that I've seen in my life, when it comes down to just having one business and going from there, and then having now a series of businesses and having to manage all of them and stuff like that. But I'm only able to do this because I have such an amazing team behind each and every single business or partnership and stuff like that. And they really believe in me. And that's why I try to dedicate as much time as I can in making things happen. So I just have to do a better job with some of my time management and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and go from there. I still have a little bit. I think I have like 2 more hours of work, and then it's Saturday tomorrow, so we don't have to wake up very early in the morning to trade, but I have to edit tomorrow's video to upload for you guys, so I'll be sure to get that done. I'm gonna spend a couple minutes just because I see a bunch of comments like in the live chat. So I'm gonna spend a couple minutes once I close this chat. I think it gives me like 3 or 4 minutes to respond to people before it closes out. So I just want to thank you guys for everything it is that you guys do. I want to thank you guys for all your hard work and how well you guys did in today's trading within our group of TechBot Solutions. And for all those that are joining us for the first time and that held throughout this entire conversation, I just want to remind you guys that you guys watching this video definitely means that you're trying to do something different. And regardless if you choose to be part of my group that's free, that's besides the point. I want you guys to understand that because you're watching this video, you're showing signs of wanting to be something different. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. There's nothing wrong with having a stable income, but continue, pursuing your passion, and let your passion be, what drives you to be a successful, investor, entrepreneur, or just a successful and live a successful, fun life, right? And then we all label that as something different. But I know that if I can do it, and I work day and night, and that's what I formulate as success, then you guys can achieve it as well, because with hard work and with preparation and consistency, it definitely is possible. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. We will see you for our Sunday stock talk, but most importantly, guys, like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.